Let's make our app even more useful by creating a new page, and then we can send someone to it. So a lot of times when you create a website, you're going to need multiple pages. You'll need the home page. You'll probably need an about page or a contact us page. You'll need a sign-in page. You'll need a sign-up page, all sorts of pages. So in a way, you can think of a website as just being a collection of pages that do different things. And we have our first page already. I mean, it's kind of boring, but we're going to spruce it up in a second. But before we do that, I want to show you how you would create another page inside of your application. Now, what we did so far to create the first page was we ran this command in the command line. It's a complicated command with lots of words, 5 words to be exact. Rails generate controller pages home. Now that did a lot, and each of these words stands for something pretty special. Rails will be using a lot. Generate basically creates something, creates a set of files or folders inside of our application. A few of them, we actually see all those below. This tells it what to generate. We generated a controller. We're not going to get into controllers right now and what exactly that means, but just think of this as we created pages. In this case, this is the name of the controller. So we created pages as a thing in our application, and we created a specific page, the home page. We didn't create any other pages. So how would I go about and do that right now that I already have these pages set up? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. I have inside of app, views, pages folder, I have this file, home.html.erb. And if I create a new file and save it inside of here, I can do File, New File. And I'll save this first before I fill it in. And if I save it inside of views, pages, just like home.html.erb, that's right, you have 2 dots. And that's because this is a special kind of file, which we'll talk about in a second. But if I create another file and I call it about.html.erb, the same as the home, but instead of home, about, and I save that, it'll show up here on the left. It's still empty. So let me I'll just take this, what we have in home. I'll paste it over into about, but I'm going to replace the text a little bit. And I'll replace it with, it'll say about us at the top. And then this will say, we're working on our 1-month Rails project. Let's just save that. Now, if I try to find this page, I'm not going to be able to. There's actually no way for me to get to this page yet right now. It's not going to be at pages/about by default. We'll get an error here that says no route matches get pages/about. It's not going to be at /about. It's not going to be anywhere. And why is that? Well, that's because in order to access a page inside of a Rails app, it has to be, you basically have to tell your application where you can get the page. And again, remember we do this inside of our routes file. So just because we created a new file doesn't mean that our routes file was changed. So if we want to be able to access this page now, I'll add another line inside of here, and I'll tab it in. Now, you'll see that tabs kind of end up being important to make code look cleaner, and spaces will be important too. They're not necessary for this to work, but it's highly preferred. So when you see me tab, I would say also tab it in. And in here, I'm going to create a new route. And I'm going to create a route, it's called a get route. And what get means is basically it's a page that someone can get. There's different kinds of things. There's also, there's post, and that is not a page someone can view, but a page that someone could send information to. That gets a little more complicated, and it has to do with forms, such as creating an account. But right now we're doing simple kind of pages. They're get pages. In fact, the root is technically a get request. It's just that the word root is special, so it makes it a little easier. And here we're going to do get, and inside of single quotes, which is right next to that return key on your keyboard, we'll type get about. Now this isn't enough yet. Do a space and do an equal sign and an arrow. It looks like a little rocket. So it's called a hash rocket. in Ruby. A little arrow and another space. And then inside of another set of single quotes, we'll actually write pages, the number sign, about, and then save that file. So this second part actually looks a lot like it does up here. And in fact, technically what this line, what the special root word means is something a lot like this, where we're creating, it would be the same as doing, I'll just show you, get slash pages home. And this slash stands for the home page. This is what you have here if you go to slash. So that's actually, this is a shortcut for this. So this is how you would create a new route. Let me show you if this is still confusing. I don't need this line because the two are the same thing. So I'll delete that. That's just for demonstration purposes. But if I save this file right now, if I go to this page, if I go to slash about, spell it right, now I see my about page. Cool, huh? So this is cool because I can literally name this file really anything as long as it has .html.erb. And then I can go in here and I could change this. So let's say I change my mind later and maybe I want to call this slash team instead. All I would have to do is go into this file and save this as team. And now about doesn't work anymore, but team does. And it sends you to the same page. So it provides a level where you would only have to make one change. I'll change this back to about. But you would be able to basically tell people when they're going to parts of your app, you're telling your Rails application what page you want to show when someone goes to that page. Now notice, if you try to go to a page that doesn't exist, you're going to get what's called a routing error. And what that means is, basically inside of your routes file, there's no route that matches that site that they tried to get to. This says no route matches get/team, which is basically this line. This is what we'd need. So if you had a get team, then that route would match. And right now, if I go to /about, that works. Or if I go here, I get the home page with a slash. It's the same thing. It actually gets rid of the slash. So I now have 2 pages. And actually, as a challenge, what I want you to do is I want you to create a third page that is going to be called Contact Us. And you could put a little hyphen in between the thing here. So it could be like get and then contact -us, or it can be all one word, whatever you want. Just rewatch this video, follow the same steps that I did for creating the about page, and create a Contact Us page and put a little bit of information where someone could contact you if they wanted to learn more about your project. Maybe give them your email or give them your Twitter handle or something like that. And once you've done that, continue and move forward with the exercise.